What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We got a lot of injury news to dive into as the Bears and the Bengals have revealed their final injury reports. We got some clear answers on some guys, and for a couple players, not completely sure, especially on Cincinnati's front, but we'll dive into all of that. If you want to support the show, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. We are chasing 137,000 subscribers. Free and daily Bears content. All you got to do is subscribe, turn on those notifications. All right. We'll start with the Bears first, as DeAndre Swift has officially been ruled out. So Swift is not going to play in this game on Sunday. When he was a DNP again yesterday, to me, that was pretty notable in comparison to recent weeks, because the last few weeks, as he's been dealing with this groin injury, he early in the week hadn't been doing much. Wednesday a DNP, typically he'd be limited Thursday, then Friday he'd be full go. And then this week he was a DNP Wednesday and Thursday, and ultimately didn't practice today, and the Bears have ruled him out. But before they had even ruled him out, Ben Johnson kind of alluded to something that I kind of wondered about and had said on the show some over the past 24 hours of, are you just going to have to sit him a week at some point here? Because he's been on the injury report for weeks now with this groin issue. And, you know, groin, hamstring, even if it's very mild, those soft tissue things, they don't heal if you don't sit out. So I think that's what the Bears are doing here. Ben said, yeah, he wants to be out there, but at some point you got to protect the player from himself, and then they ultimately ruled him out. So he's not going to play in this game on Sunday. Hopefully it's just a one-game absence. That means Kyle Monangai, the rookie 7th rounder, will be the lead back. You've got Travis Homer active, obviously. Roschon Johnson is also out, so look for Britton Brown to be elevated from the practice squad for this game. I thought he did some good things in the preseason for the Bears. He's a bit of a bruiser, so maybe in short yardage situations on the goal line, they can utilize him in those spots as well. But no DeAndre Swift, no Roschon Johnson in this contest as the Bears look to get a win in Cincinnati. Luther Burden has also been officially ruled out. He's in the concussion protocol. You hope he can clear and return next week. Nowadays, you know, when you have a concussion, you almost are guaranteed to miss at least a game, because there's a lot of steps in the protocol that you have to clear, and it's very rare to clear those from 1 week to the next. So hopefully it's just a one-game absence, but that is where that sits. And then Dominique Robinson is the only other player who's been ruled out. Amen Ogbongbemiga is questionable. He is still in his 21-day practice window, so they have until, I believe, November 5th to take him off short-term IR. Otherwise, he's out for the season. So I'm not sure they'll do it this game, but I would imagine they do at some point, and that would mean they would likely cut either Carl Jones Jr. or DeMarco Jackson, both special teams linebackers. They'll pick one to cut for Amen O. Not sure if it'll happen for this game, but keep an eye on that maneuver at some point. Before we get to the Bengals, players who are good to go. This is on the good news side of things. Tyreek Stevenson and Cole Kmet, both full go today. No game designation, so they're ready to rock on Sunday, which is big on both fronts. Kmet's obviously been a big part of the 12 personnel packages. He's blocked his ass off this year. Probably hasn't gotten as many targets and catches as he would like, but he's been a big part of the running game, especially in the resurgence since the bye week. So good to have him back. But even more important, I would say Tyreek Stevenson, especially for this game. You're going up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, two of the best receivers in the game. Certainly Chase, then Higgins, one of the best number two. So to have the guy who's been your number one corner really all season, especially since week 2 when Jalen Johnson re-aggravated his injury and is out for the foreseeable future, it's good that his absence has only been 1 week. Ben Johnson said he was out there chirping. He was like his normal self. And he also mentioned that adding C.J. Gardner-Johnson with him and Brisker, that's he could hear those guys at practice this week. So that's kind of exciting to think about, the type of edge and intensity those guys can play with together. So excited to see how that comes together and how that looks for the Bears defense. Other guys who are good to go, we kind of figured that would be the case. Olamide Zaccheaus, Roma Dunze, and then obviously Joe Tooney. It was just a rest day yesterday, so no Luther Burden, but your top 4 receivers there are good to go with Rome, DJ, and Zaccheaus. And then obviously you're thin at running back this week with Kyle Monangai, Travis Homer, and likely Britton Brown to be your 3 backs on Sunday. Okay, we'll talk about the Bengals coming up here in just a second, a Joe Flacco update, and the latest on Trey Hendrickson. But first, want to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor, Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. I love playing Prize Picks. All sports are available. I like using different players, having different lineups. You know, when you do season-long fantasy, you get stuck with certain guys, injuries pop up. Well, with Prize Picks, you can try different players all the time, multiple lineups at once. You're good to go. You just pick 2 or more players for a given lineup and take more or less on their stat projections. For example, this weekend I've got Caleb Williams more than his 230.5 passing yards. I took less on Chase Brown's 52.5 rushing yards. So that's a $20 lineup to win $60. That would be an example. You can go all the way up to 6 players. You can cross over sports in your lineups. Doesn't matter. 2 or more players. Pick more, pick less, and you qualify for a lineup. And if you hit, you win money. It's very simple to play. Takes less than 90 seconds to sign up. Takes less than 60 seconds to pick your first lineup. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Okay, Joe Flacco sounds like he's going to be good to go. He spoke to the media today. He obviously practiced yesterday, said his shoulder felt good. So certainly seems like he's going to be out there and play. Now, you know, it's a minor sprained AC joint, so they'll probably shoot it up with something, and you know, we'll see if he gets through the game. You know, if he doesn't take any major hits, he probably will. But sounds like he's fine. You know, Jamar Chase yesterday said he didn't even know he was injured, so certainly seems like a mild situation. Now they do list him as questionable, but remember, probable isn't a designation anymore. So if you're not 100% sure, then you got to list him questionable, which is what his designation is. But I fully expect him out there. I expect Joe Flacco to play. And for Cincinnati, in a lot of ways, this is their season. Baltimore's won 2 in a row. The Steelers have 4 wins. At 3-5, they can't afford to fall to 3-6. So I expect Flacco out there with Jake Browning as the backup. They did elevate Sean Clifford from the practice squad, so they will have a emergency third quarterback available if needed. But I still think Flacco's going to play. Doesn't look like Trey Hendrickson's going to play, and that's obviously a significant development as he is their one really good defensive player. Now, they have some good individual players on defense, but he's by far their best, and their defense, for the most part this year, has been atrocious here in 2025. He's listed as doubtful. He re-aggravated that hip injury last week, so barring something unforeseen, he's not going to play on Sunday now. Again, doubtful. Every once in a while, you see a guy play after being listed doubtful. I remember last year there was a game Max Crosby played after being listed doubtful. So it does happen, but I would be surprised. I do not expect him to play. And then the question becomes, if the Bengals lose for Trey Hendrickson, do they trade him before Tuesday's NFL trade deadline? A, is he healthy enough to be ready to go pretty quickly for another team? If he's doubtful, it probably means he's close. And B, do the Bengals get an offer they're satisfied with to trade him away? Would the Bears be interested in Trey Hendrickson? All of that remains to be seen. A couple other Bengals injury notes, and then we will get out of here on a Friday. Linebacker Logan Wilson, he's also doubtful with a calf injury. He's kind of been in and out of the starting lineup. They benched him a few weeks ago, but he's still been playing some, has not had a great year, and now he's banged up. He is a team captain, though. And then cornerback Marco Wilson, also doubtful with a hamstring injury as well. And then linebacker Oren Burks is questionable with a groin injury. So a couple other minor pieces on the Bengals defense to keep an eye on this week. But if Joe Flacco plays, That offense has been very good. Chase Brown's been running the football a lot better as of late. He's averaging, I think, 7 yards per carry since Flacco's entered the starting lineup after averaging 2.5 the first month of the year. So the run game has opened up with Flacco, and obviously Flacco's done a good job of getting the ball to Jamar Chase in particular since taking over for Jake Browning. So obviously that's going to be a key matchup. And again, that's where having Tyreek Stevenson back really, really helps this Bears defense. All right, we're going to get out of here. Hope everybody has a happy Halloween. I got some trick-or-treating to do with my son tonight. Should be a fun time. Let me know. Drop your Halloween costume down in the comment section below. Also, get those questions in. Bears, Bengals, who wins? What is the final score going to be? I got Bears 31-20. What say you? We'll see you guys soon with more Bears content. Bear down.